Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. I don't know, I might have to change that tagline at some point. Although I guess the fear is always going to be there on some level for, at least a percentage of us here on Earth. But I hope that actually starts to not be a very interesting subject anymore. Wouldn't that be cool? It's like, oh yeah, fear. Well, let's talk about something else because we don't really have to deal with fear too much. You can probably tell I have a little bit of it's not a cold, it's a flu. When you go into higher frequencies, your immune system is pretty awesome. So you probably won't get sick very often. I haven't been sick in years. But I was with some people who had the flu over the holidays who have been out. I mean, out for the count. And basically, I've had very minimal symptoms. When you raise your frequency, your physical body builds up and an immunity. Why? You're sending messages to it constantly of joy and happiness. It's strength. It's like they're all in there, pumping weights, right? They're getting stronger. They're happy. And of course, happiness creates strength, right? Power, a higher frequency. And those higher frequencies don't really allow any negativity in there. Now, when you're connecting to negativity and lower frequencies, then your body, your particles are made up of lower frequencies. We're energy. If you can imagine not just the physical body, but imagine everything in you is just some, light flashing on and off. And if you're connecting to lower frequencies, they slow down and they're dull, right? So they're going to be functioning on a lower, slower level. If you have a bright light, then there's no darkness in there, correct? So that the body is no different than how you feel and think. It's all one energy. So when I do get sick, I have no immunity to these strains of flus going around because I don't get them. So I'll go years without the flu, which means I don't build up an antibody. So I had a doctor say, when you get it, it's probably going to nail you back big time because you have no antibodies. But what happens is mine will last a couple days, and then I'll have a few symptoms. I actually, after 48 hours, went out for a two-mile walk, and it felt great. And everybody else is, I guess, really, really bad, getting pneumonia. And my girlfriend, I asked her if she had it. She says, yeah, she just had it for 3 weeks. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm walking around I'm fine with a little congestion. So this is the reason we need to absolutely keep everything in check. Everything in our life, every thought affects everything, our health. If you're having health issues, you've got to tackle that first because that is at the root of everything. And even injuries. Injuries are brought on by, lessons, actions, decisions we made, maybe carelessness, which are growth and lessons we need to learn. There are all kinds of reasons why we get into ill health. And a lot of it has to do with trauma that we've brought forward. And I don't like to blame other lives because I think that we can absolutely deal with that now. I'm actually a quantum healing hypnosis technique. I don't want to say physician. A hypnotist. And that is Dolores Cannon. If you know Dolores Cannon, I got trained on it. And the whole focus of the quantum healing hypnosis, it's no woo-woo stuff, is really to go in and heal people. It's a healing hypnosis technique. And it used to be going into past lives, which they would find out a lot of hurts would be brought forward and illness is brought forward. But now it's being used more for just the healing alone, not to see if you were Cleopatra in the last life. And because a lot of people will bring it forward. But the thing is, I want to remind you, if you never go in under hypnosis, you still have the ability to clear out any negative energy or anything from the past. Like if you have something on your body that doesn't make any sense, let's say, you have a hip that's bad or whatever, you know, in a last lifetime you might have been, I just heard this, somebody was stabbed in their hip, bayonet or something in their hip in a last lifetime. You don't have to know all of this to heal. So it's not like you have to go through the rest of your life with something that you don't understand. So what it is this lifetime is allowing you to move through all of the things that have happened up until this moment. It's really accelerated. Now that we're in the fourth dimension, now that we're we're still going, we're still going up. I'm very excited, by the way. I'm extremely excited. I cannot tell you how different I feel. I didn't think I would, but I'm feeling very different. And I feel like there's been a huge shift, huge one. And I'm going to talk a lot about that. I've got some exciting stuff to tell you. But in this video, again, I want to focus on the illness. So you're not going to bypass, you're never going to get away with the fact that human bodies will eventually die at this present time on Earth. We're not light beings yet. We still have density. That's what we're working through here. We still will have illnesses here. There are messages in that. There are lessons to be learned. Mine is probably I needed to just, relax a little bit and, quit taking on so much. I was throwing dinner parties. I was going to have another dinner party, and it was like, okay, guys, I can't have a dinner party. And I sat here and took my Christmas trees down because it's New Year's, and thought this is good. I needed time to reflect. So don't ever name anything good or bad. Now, if you're in pain and you've got illnesses that, definitely is not. It is not something you need to walk around with. So again, this is all coming from the thoughts, the feelings, the energy you're carrying forward. And so the focus on not the pain or whatever your experience is, what can I do? How can I shift my thinking and my frequency? And maybe even self-forgiveness, maybe even releasing pains of the present day that will release that energy that you're carrying forward from a past life. Sometimes it's just that simple. You don't have to spend your life suffering from a past life if you never get hypnotized. You can release everything in this lifetime and heal yourself. Now, it's probably a good idea if you're having difficulties with healing or whatever, because a lot of times, it's tough when you're down and worn out just to go to that place. But meditation and calling in light and calling in your angels. So, I shared with you, we're not going to use, the N word, need. Yeah, we're not going to use that anymore. You're going to say, I have, and then you're going to command the energy and the things you have available to you. So no more of the N, it's the H word. I have, okay? So we're going to do that. I have ultimate healing powers. You do, we all do. When I say I have, I'm speaking about you because we're one, okay? So now let's start thinking as one now. We're not a separate energy anymore. That was a concept, right? We are one. We always have been. So now we know that if there's somebody that is healed, then you can heal. So I have ultimate health. I am calling in my angels. So you have access, and I'm going to do some really fun videos on this. You're going to love this. You have access to all energy. It's not separate from you. So it's not like, because I always tell you, you have everything in you. You've got it. There's nothing outside of you that is more powerful, because you are of God. You're not on that highest frequency at the moment, but you can do that. And you can access that at any point, because you are that. So I want you to get past this, that's wrong to think of that. This is the biggest hurdle you're going to have, is to think that you don't have that kind of power to heal, to be ultimate, like powerful, all-knowing, you can heal others. You can do that. You can heal others. So if you need to go to a healer and have them talk to you about how you can use certain techniques for yourself, and they will give you some wonderful guidance on maybe, how you can call in your angels. Nothing can happen without your permission. So when you are ill, it's imperative that you give permission for your angels to heal you and to show you how to heal yourself and to show you what you need to know, because there's some reason why you're in that situation. And maybe it's just to let go of suffering and to know that you are a whole, perfect being. It may be that simple. In fact, it probably is that simple, because that's what everything else is just some made-up stuff, right? Hurts and stories and the planetary density. So if you can go into a state of meditation and just say, I'm calling you in. You've got to command it. I'm calling you in. They love it. They love it. They are you. They are you. So you're calling in that energy that is you, that is vibrating higher, because what's going through your body is slowed down. Now you're not separate from that energy, so you just call it in. Just imagine a pillar of light, and it's white and beautiful up here, and the closer it gets to you, it slows down and it's a little duller. That's all it is. So you got to pull that energy down and get that light and that frequency to raise and to clean out and clear out whatever it is. But you have to really take a look at it. I am doing it myself, right? I'm doing it myself. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? I need to forgive myself. I need to forgive others. I need to stop blaming. A lot of people are sick because it keeps them in this place of not having to go out into the world, right? If I'm sick, then I have an excuse to stay in here and not have to see if I could be successful, or if I am actually a failure, whatever you think about yourself. So don't Eckhart Tolle gets colds and flus. Don't discount the fact that we're still going through a human experience, and that there are still illnesses and microbes on this planet that can take over, and that they're not always so negative. Like I said, sometimes it'll slow you down a little bit when you need to, or you just never know what lesson is in it. But there's no need for you to physically suffer. And I really recommend that you take a real good look at that and start to realize that you control that. Go see a healer. I'm not telling you not to see a doctor, by the way. Of course not. And then start to work on that, because all of us that are resonating on a higher frequency will never experience the kind of illnesses on the level that most people do, right? And if we do go through things, they are definitely, like I said, things that we may not understand, that is part of a learning experience, right? So let's not try to evaluate everything. Let's just know that if we don't want to be in that state of being, that we can change it. So I'm going to clear out this congestion today. I decided that I do not want to be congested. Everybody else has it's gone into their chest. They've got pneumonia and all that stuff. That's not going to be the case with me. But I am going to relax a little today, and I hope that you will understand that you have control over your body, and that you are light. Everything flowing through you is light, and that you can raise that frequency. And if you focus on that light and that frequency raising, and you meditate every day, you'll notice some incredible changes. And you can heal yourself and not have to, like I said, be down for 3 weeks like everybody else if the flu comes around. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. I'm sending you light and love, healing, and joy. Namaste.